How's it going, everybody? Have my coffee. This is my WWJD. What would Jen do? My friend Val from church got me that. That's kind of funny. Hey, Donna, how's it going? Can you hear me? Having a coffee. Oops. Turn down the volume. It just started raining. I was like, I'm hearing noise, and I'm like looking out the window, and it just started raining. And I'm like, ugh, it's gonna be a bit wet. Hey, Tom Tom, how's it going? It just started raining here. I didn't even know it was supposed to rain today, but I didn't really check. So, today I'm not getting out of my PJs. Today's a stay in the PJs time today. I'm staying home today. Don't have anything planned other than cooking. I'm going to be making some fresh pasta. Um, which with my new attachment to my KitchenAid, I got for my birthday back in February, but I haven't used it yet. So I'm going to do an unboxing and use it to make some paparella pasta, which is like a thicker than linguine pasta, I think. Started driving for. Oh, good job, Donna. Friday. And good job. Hopefully, you got a lot of rides. So, how are you doing, Tom Tom? What time is it there? Like 4? 4 in the afternoon? Very lucrative, but extremely exhausting too. Well, yeah, if you're driving a lot, especially if you're driving all over the place. Got bellyache, not feeling perfect today. Okay, well you can stay in your PJs too and have a coffee with me, or have a chamomile tea or a peppermint tea. That should help your tummy. Or ginger tea. 6 p.m. Okay. I'm always trying to figure out time zones. So it's like your supper time. Do you normally eat supper around 5, 6 o'clock at night, or do you eat later? 10:48 here. So you're an hour earlier, Donna, than I am, because it's 11:50 here, give or take my clock being off on my computer. Who knows? Wait, I should make my thing. Make sure it's. Oh yeah, it's not. It's. I'm in Eastern Standard Time, and um, but I suck at geography. So figuring out the time zones, like I know roughly where they are and stuff. That's how I was like trying to figure out the math for England. I'm like 4, 6, so 6. So where you are, Tom Tom, it's 7 hours ahead. No, is it 6 like 6:50, or is it going to be 6? So today I'm just trying to trudge through today. Today's not a great day. Oh, live journey. Sorry, Tom Tom. I keep on thinking that you're in the UK. I apologize. Whereabouts um in Germany? My stepbrother lived and worked in Germany wherever the Canadian Army had a base there. He wasn't in the army, but he was working for the contracting company that went there to dismantle the base, the one that got dismantled like 20 years ago in um, in Germany. But I can't remember where that was. All you have to do is look at some maps and stuff and read some Wikipedia places too. Yes, but I there's just so many things. Okay, this is part of my problem. So there's so many projects I want to do, and so many things I have to do, and so many things I should be doing, that I just don't have enough time in the world to do all the things I need to be doing or the things I want to be doing. So it's just yes, I'm I apologize. Don't want to insult you. Um, but I have a bad memory, a bad short term memory. I remember some things longer, and other times it's like it's there, but it's hard to grasp. So there's just so much stuff on my brain. Do myself some breakfast and then head out to work for a while. Ah, yes, I made myself. It was actually good today. It was kind of breakfast lunch. I made myself a stir fry. I did egg and I had some cabbage, like a coleslaw pack. I used like half of that and some bok choy and some turkey because I still have lots of turkey. That's my menu plan this week is turkey and ham that I'm going to be cooking up that I have frozen. So I made like a turkey stir fry. It was actually pretty good. So I was kind of trying to do some lower carb stuff to be a little bit on the healthier side. I'm not trying to do low carb all meals, but if I can get some of them done and getting more active and purposely walking and stuff like that will be better. And also drinking water. I have to actually drink lots of water. That's my problem. I don't know. I just keep on forgetting to drink water. South New grew up south, grew up around Nuremberg. Now live in Stuttgart. So no study about biscuits last night and for breakfast chicken pate sandwiches. Oh yum! That sounds yummy. I love. See, this is the problem. Is when I'm going to try and lose weight to do lower carbs. Is the problem is I love bread. I could get rid of pasta. I could get rid of potatoes. I could get rid of, but there's something with bread. So I have to have um, some bread, but I just have to figure out. I have some recipes for some low carb bread, and also I have some recipes for like from doing from Healthy Mama. You can have bread, but it has to be like lower carb. So it's bread, and like there's a recipe that I've done before many times, and it's really good. And it's basically like a sourdough whole wheat bread that you use whole grains and stuff like that. It's really good, and it does replace the bread part that I crave, but you can't have fat on it. So you can have like have I think it's a teaspoon of fat, so a teaspoon of butter. So it's to kind of stretch it. You have to kind of I think it's like 10 under 10 grams of fat and under like 30 or 40 grams of carbs for an E meal and under 10 grams of carbs, and there's not really a limit on fat for an S meal. But if you want a fuel pull meal, that's under 10 grams of fat and under, I think, 10 grams of carbs, which is basically eating coleslaw with vinegar dressing type thing, or eating like basically vegetables. And pronounce Schutzgard. Schutzgard. Okay. Stutzgard. Yeah, I'm Yeah, Donna's my grammar police. She tries to get me to say everything correctly according to, um, I guess what most people say. But see, Donna, I watch a lot of people in the States that do a lot of cooking videos, and the awful word that you don't like me saying the way I say it, the TACO word, um, they say it the exact same way. So I am not alone in saying it differently. I took 3 years of German in high school and had to forget a bunch of it when I studied Spanish. So now I can speak Spanish better than German these days. Ah, yes. Well, that's one language I want to learn a bit of Spanish, because when we travel, usually we go to countries where people speak Spanish. Also, it'd be helpful whenever we go down to the States, because the last time we were in Miami, like we were on vacation and leaving Miami. We stayed by the airport. We went to the Walmart by Miami airport, which is a huge Walmart. I've never seen, like, we our huge Walmarts are like half the size of this huge Walmart. Like it took like 15 minutes just to walk from end to end. Like, it was huge. I've never seen anything like that. So, but we were at Walmart in Miami. So I'm in the States. I was buying trying on some clothes for me and the girls. This was like 6, 7 years ago, and we went to the spot to try them on, and the ladies that were there could not speak English. They only spoke Spanish. They were talking to me in Spanish. I could understand enough Spanish because I know a bit of French, which some Spanish words are close to. So I understood, and I'm like, no español, no. I can't think how to say it. We learned how to say no. We do not speak English in Spanish, and getting them to just we wanted to try these on. Then we went to the cash, and of course the cashier that I had, she was telling me that there, but then she was speaking Spanish to me, and I'm like, no, I don't speak English. So she had to ask the other cashier to say what she wanted to say to me, because there was something about um like they didn't take that card or something like that. I was trying to pay for it, and then we went to the Walmart in that the went to the McDonald's in the Walmart to order food, right? Because now it's like 8 o'clock, because it just took us all this time to be shopping for, like, we were getting like prescription stuff for our trip, like, to make sure that we had Tylenol, Advil, all that stuff, because it's cheaper in the States than up here. Um, and at McDonald's, we're ordering English off the menu, and the cashier was there, didn't speak much English. I'm like, it's McDonald's. It's not a hard menu. And I'm like trying to order a Big Mac and stuff. So they asked one of the girls that were behind them that she had red hair, so she was, and she spoke really great English. She came over and helped us take our order, but it wasn't really that complicated. But it was just like, oh my goodness, I've never had so much trouble getting people to understand me speaking English. Yes, I know. That's why I spelt the word, because Donna does not like that T word when I say it. But I was gonna say, there's other people on YouTube that I watch that they're saying, and I'm like, okay, they say it the same way I do. uh, have you noticed you've been telling changing it? Yes. Well, I've been noticing I've been having more energy when I've actually been walking, and purposely walking and drinking water has actually been helpful. Like, I've noticed having more energy, and just being more. I don't know. I think it's been good for endorphins and stuff like that. Just, well, mood, you know. Like, I'm not working out like hugely or anything like that, but just being better. Yes, I took French in school. What's funny is I took French all the way to grade 11 or 12, core French. So that's like the basic French. So at the time and also now, I can read French pretty good and I can read it, but I butcher the pronunciation of the words. Like I could spell it better, like reading and writing it. Except the problem is I use English grammar, which is the backwards of French grammar, which messes things up. But people who are French, when I speak it, if I can read it and stuff, and I can ask, I'm good at reading menus. Like the core French was basically, it was tourism type French. So you basically, if you got dropped in France, you'd be able to order food, you'd be able to find out where the airport was, ask where the police were, ask where the washroom were, like, all those type of things, and have a conversation about the weather, or like, not really in-depth French. Like we read stories in French, and then we had to answer questions and stuff. So I did really well in that, but not very good. So my kids took early immersion up till grade 3, and then they switched just to regular programming. My husband, he's bilingual, so he took early immersion French, and took French courses all the way through high school. So he has his, and then now that he works for the federal government, there's even other classifications for bilingualism. So you have to have a certain level, and it has to be pertaining to his job. So the words he's in technology, he's in computers. So a lot of the words and technology is in, the words are English, whether you're speaking French or you're not. Like they don't say low window, like they say low windows. They don't say le fenêtre. They don't. It's not fenêtre. It's IBM. It's not le IBM. Like it's IBM. Like it's franglais. Hey, can't spell. Can't wait. Oh, sorry. Can't wait. Can't wait. Smells great, Robin. Hey. Apparently, I can't read today. I agree about the bread, but don't worry about the carbs. Instead, worry about whether. Well, see, that's what. So this is the thing: is what I've been doing up till now has been trying to be eating more whole foods, so less processed stuff. I mean, there's still some stuff that's processed, like crackers and stuff, which I haven't quite made. Well, not enough coffee either. But I'm trying. I've already been doing that, so I've been healthier that way. And actually, my husband has lost weight, which he's gone down like in the past year, like 3 holes on his belt. We've had to make 3 holes. So his belt used to be 1 hole above the smallest, and we've had to put 3 holes in his belt in the past year. So he's lost weight, eating healthier, and so there's been less takeout. And when it has been takeout, it's been like stuff like Chinese, Vietnamese, stuff that is relatively healthy anyways, you know? Hey, 50 chickens in a hen house. So he's lost weight. I have gained weight. I've gained weight since the last time I weighed myself, which was years ago, literally, because I don't own a scale. And so this summer was a more of a wake up call. Like my clothes haven't really changed in the past few years. Some have gotten looser, some have gotten tighter, depending on the month, depending on the day. So it hasn't, and some things I think it's just redistributed my weight and stuff like that. So this summer when I was on vacation, I decided to try and weigh myself because there was a scale there. I looked at the scale. I did not like the numbers. I burst into tears. I was like, ah, oh, someone's at my door. I think that's my delivery. I will be right back.
Hello.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm back. Sorry. There we go. Hubby's meds. Oh, that's nice. And it cost zero. I covered the name. Actually worked out to be $0. I like that. I don't know why, but sometimes our meds. Well, with our health care, so his insurance, sometimes the meds, like always pay 80%, like they pay 80%, we usually pay 20%. But sometimes certain meds have certain rebates that we don't know about, like the pharmacy knows about. So he applies the rebates onto the 20% that we pay, and sometimes it comes out at zero. So, because otherwise, I'll show you how much it would have cost if we didn't have insurance. Hey, Steve! So, if we didn't have insurance and they didn't apply the rebates, one drop would have been 80. Where's the camera? $84, one drop. And the other one, oh, is there only one sticker in there? Maybe they would have been both. No, that's just for the Xalantin. So that's for these two drops. They're 5 mils each. And the Timoptic one, I don't know. It came out as zero. That's only like 27.5 mils. But that's usually there's sometimes discounts on like rebates on the. Yeah, if I get dropped to mail in Montreal, I'm pretty good. Maybe France would be a bit rough because I'd have to figure out how to get out of there. Today is day 50. Woohoo! Oh, awesome! So to this week, my menu plan. I'll be uploading that when I get to it today or tomorrow, hopefully. I'm trying the pizza dough, the low carb pizza dough, fat bomb pizza dough. Well, I'm going to do pizza buns. I have a whole bunch of buns for my kids and hubby, and I'm going to try the other pizza dough, and I'm going to make some fat bomb pizzas, and then I'm doing a ham and cauliflower casserole, and then Rowan is making some cauliflower gnocchi. She saw a recipe off like Tasty or something like that she wants to make cauliflower gnocchi, and we have pesto sauce, and we're going to have that with ham instead of ham and scalloped potatoes. I don't know where Amanda and Rosie are. They're not here yet. I hope they come by. Jen, two wrongs do not make a right, but three rights make a left. Ha ha ha! I need the cheering up today. Today is not a great emotional day for me. So, I'm just reading as well. To make bread to dawn, 3 tablespoons of toasted wheat germ. Ah, yes, wheat germ. I've also heard oat fiber is really good to help with weight loss and stuff like that. I have a few recipes. When I was doing Trim Healthy Mama before, finding oat fiber in Canada was like impossible. But now, this was 5 years ago. Now, in the past 5 years, I've been able to actually access it on Amazon. Before I couldn't. And when I could find it on Amazon, it was like $100 for like a pound. Have a chewing out coming. Yeah, no. So today is October 15th. So my mom's birthday was on October the 13th, and she would have been 70 years old if she was still around. Today is my dad's birthday, and if he was still around, he would be 67. And my mom died on my dad's birthday 22 years ago today. So she's actually been dead longer than she was in my life because she died when I was 21. So it's a kind of an emotional kind of day. So that's why I'm staying in my PJs, and I am trying to distract myself with other things like let's make pasta from scratch because why not? Until today, for supper, I'm not going to try and do low carb because I don't want to. But I'm going to make pasta from scratch because that should take up a lot of my time, right? So I'm just trying to fill up my time so I don't have to kind of be sitting here by myself. So this is why I also decided to do a live stream because it's so much more fun and enjoyable to be with you guys than just sitting here. Oh yeah, don't forget to give a thumbs up. I only see 2 thumbs up in here. And there's 5 of you. Make sure you have coffee. So, how about you guys ask me some questions or chat about something? What's new in your life? This weekend, so another good thing was also on October 13th. My nephew was born too, so he just turned 3. So I have another good thing on that day. And I have actually a couple. And what's this weekend? I got to celebrate with a friend of mine who gives us a ride to church all the time. Her birthday's on October 14th, and she just celebrated turning 80, and she still works as a real estate agent, lives on her own and everything like that. Does her own thing. Like she's so I have video evidence that she's not doesn't act like an 80-year-old because she went into the bouncy castle with Abby at the church barbecue. So it was her and Abby in the bouncy castle. They were acting like big kids. So, um, it's it was so I went and got and saw her. She had like so many people. Like she had her daughter said she would have an open house from this time to this time. People can come in, and if they wanted to bring food, they could. So people brought food. Brought her. I brought her some canning. I brought her some chocolate cherry jam and corn relish. Which that recipe video will be up soon. I recorded it, but I haven't edited it. I'm getting tongue tied these days. Um, that's about it. So, what's been new in your lives? It just went silent. I'm gonna drink coffee. Okay. Yeah, sometimes there's delay. Like I know with Donna's internet, it's usually delayed by like a couple minutes. So her comments might be from things that I've already said like a couple minutes ago. It took all day. I uploaded a video yesterday. Ouch. Yesterday I tried to upload a video I took on my phone because I usually take my videos on my little camera here, itty bitty camera, and I could plug it into my computer and upload it onto the thing to the hard drive that's not on my computer but on the computers downstairs, so I can edit videos. But when it's on my phone, it sometimes doesn't go to Google Drive, so I had to try and upload it to OneDrive. And I tried to upload yesterday. It was only like not even a 10-minute video, like 8 minutes maybe. And because I was going to be piecing things together. Yeah, it's like a GoPro, but cheaper. It's a Yeelight. We had another one, an Ape Man one, but it did eventually break, but because I think it fell and cracked. But still, Steve we had ordered another one from that another one like this from that spot you told me to. Oh, Top Hatter, but it never came in. It like they refunded the money, so we're gonna look at it again and try and find another one to have as a backup because as having a cheap one like this one's not too cheap, like it's a hundred and something, but it did really good when we were on vacation. I think Robin's in Florida. Oh, I was watching your pound cake. I didn't get to the keto one. I watched the full fat one. OMG, yum 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 yum. Virginia, but okay, Virginia's. Let me see. That's just about like it's still on that eastern seaboard, right? Eastern seaboard, west eastern seaboard. Does get there. You'll like it. Well, I had. Well, see, that's the thing. They said it was supposed to be here. That got lost in transit from wherever it was sent. So they gave us the money back. So then we have to order it again. Yeah, I heard Virginia and Florida, a bunch of places got really hit um, with Hurricane Michael. Ouch! Did you lose food? No, they said they weren't. So we're gonna go and the next we'll go and look at it again, and because it said it would take 2 months, and then a month later, after they said it was supposed to deliver, they hadn't delivered, and they said they tracked it and it got lost somewhere. I think in China, like it still hadn't left China. So we'll order another one, but yeah, the price, the one that we got, I think was like we had tried to order was like $30 or so, and then shipping was like another 10-15. This was I think $100. Might have been a bit less. Um, hey Donna, but I paused you, so I'm a bit behind you. No problem, Donna. Welcome back. Hey Amanda, hi. Glad to see you. I'm so excited. So, has Michael finished being a hurricane or has it moved on? Okay, no problem, Robin. Whole food is different. Well, true. Um, true, Donna. I was just saying that we. So for the past year and a half or so, I've been trying to eat more whole food. So making things from scratch or using um less things that are processed. I mean, there's stuff that's processed like crackers and chips because I haven't quite gotten that creative or have that much time to do my hands, but more of like purchasing ingredients and making it myself. So not to necessarily purchase like frozen meals already done up. And yes, and whole grain um, is much better than like white. And that's kind of what I've done before. Was I made a whole grain sourdough bread, which was better on carbs because there was something with the sourdough fermentation or something like that that made the carbs of the bread go down like below 30 grams. Well, I don't own a scale, so I can't I can't pay attention to the scale anymore. I'm more looking for my clothes to be much looser, and for me to maybe get into some clothes that I have in my closet that's a little tight. So that's kind of my goal. I'm not really looking at numbers per se. I'm just more looking for health benefits, and so also losing some weight also will be helpful on my back and stuff like that. Because I got, well, my back is sore, not necessarily because of carrying extra weight. It's mostly sore due to stress and stuff. As my doctor says, I carry a lot of stress in my back. So when I'm stressed, which is all the time, my back is sore in different places. Like it has nothing to do with me lifting improperly or not, because I know how to lift. Um, but I have a lot of back pain in that sense. Well, yeah, because muscle definitely weighs more than fat. That's why I'm looking to go down in sizes in clothes so that the clothes fit better. Because it's not even a numbers thing. It's more of a looking better in clothes. Like I mean, I'm not. I've come to the realization I am never going to be a size 6. I never was a size 6, even in high school. I was a size 8, which was the smallest I've ever been, and that was in high school. And even then, on tops, I was more than a size 8 because I'm. Oh, it was meds. You'll see. So the meds came, but look here. We didn't even have to pay anything. So normally with meds, we our insurance we pay 20%. So our insurance pays 80%, but sometimes with certain meds, um, there's rebates that the pharmacies get that have them. So they apply it to, they submit it to the insurance for the amount that they pay. So they take off the 80%, and then um, your percentage. Because our dispensing fee is $11.99, and the meds cost, this one thing of meds costs $71.46. So we normally would pay $83.45, but then 80% of that would have been deducted, and then we'd pay 20%. But um, we only had to pay nothing. So a little bit behind. I've had to pause for video. No problem. He's okay, Donna. So coffee. So what's new and exciting in your parts of the world? So Robin, did you manage to lose any food from your power outage, or did you happen to get um are you getting got a generator, or were you able to move your food from your fridge and freezer somewhere else that had power? You're getting a Twin Peaks soon too. All I remember with Twin Peaks, there was a TV show back in the 80s, 90s. What is it besides the TV show? Only 37 in here right now. Hey Google, what's the temp?
In Ottawa right now, it's 8 degrees.
8 degrees. Hey Google, what is 8 degrees Celsius?
8 degrees Celsius equal 46.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
So it's 46 degrees here today. I have the windows open upstairs. I had the patio door open yesterday, but I closed at night because it was getting cool. But our house is too warm. Our house is still like 19 degrees. It's crazy. The house is too well insulated. What is it? What is Twin Peaks? Is that like a restaurant? Pray for me on October 20th. I'm going to be a basket case that day. Not pension good. All it will be the 50th anniversary of the day of my dad died. Yes, well, that's what today is for me, Donna. So for me, this is a not. This is why I'm also online to kind of get my head out of here. Um, on the 13th was my mom's birthday, and if she was still alive, she would have been 70. And today is my dad's birthday, and if he was still alive, he would be 67. And my mom died on today, 22 years ago, on my dad's birthday. So she's actually been dead and out of my life longer than she was in my life. And it's kind of a memory of like the first bit of my childhood, my life with my parents was very chaotic, dysfunctional. The last, say, 6 7 years of my mom's life, um our relationship was actually pretty good, all things considered. It was pretty good, especially considering the past. And it was it was getting better, you know. And then she got diagnosed and lived with bone and breast cancer for 5 years, even though they said they were going to give her like 6 months to a year. At that point in time, the changes, she tried some experimental treatments with chemo and radiation and stuff like that, which is now how they treat the cancers now to begin with. So she got to live a little bit longer than um, than was expected, which I'm very thankful for. Twin Peaks restaurant. If my mom were still alive, she'd be 104 past January. Would have been 99. Awesome. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up, guys. Here, I'm going to go check out that link to the Twin Peaks, because that sounds. Because all I know is Twin Peaks was a TV show. I can't remember what it was. Oh, is Twin Peaks like a Hooters? Oh, it sure looks like a Hooters. Now, is the food good? That's the main question. Well, I'm just seeing the website and how it's showing predominantly the shortcut red plaid shirts that are tied off here with helping push the peaks closer together. Any organizing videos coming up soon, hopefully. Yes, so I have a bunch of things that I've recorded. I have to glue them all together to make videos. I'm going to be doing some organizing and some decluttering videos. So I have issues with clutter, and I have things like actually right beside me. I have, and I'll show you. There's some boxes here. that I put here, they were in Abby, not in my closet. Oh shoot, in my linen closet. They were in the linen closet. They have been there for like years because, and I have no idea what's in them. They were I remember they were boxes of stuff that I've thrown stuff in from a cleaning up time a while ago. And they were in my room or whatever, and I put them in the closet. So I have to go through them. So I'll probably go do a video of decluttering and figuring out how to get rid of some stuff. Um, and because a lot of the stuff that's in there, I mean, it's been years, right? So if there is actually any clothes or stuff in there for my kids, they've probably outgrown it, for one. If there's things that in there that really don't have any sentimental value, but there could be, that's the thing. I could have just thrown a whole bunch of um, things in there, but there could be sentimental stuff. If there's sentimental, I'll keep that. If there's other stuff that I have no sentimental value for, I'll just give it away. So that's my goal, and that I might do a bit. I'm going to be trying to do that this week. And hopefully I'll have videos up for that too. Well, I was eating my breakfast together in the kitchen. Well, I'm glad that the restaurant actually has good food, because it would be kind of like if a place is just there to ogle women. I mean, men have been ogling women since the dawn of time, and they didn't have to go to a restaurant for it. But as long as the food's good, and as long as the women who work there want to work there, and they don't get harassed by their fellow staff or customers, then I don't see an issue with it. I mean, to each their own. Would I work there? If I looked like those girls, would I work there? Maybe, you know? But then I'd be more inclined to get hit on. I mean, I worked in a restaurant. I got bugged by staff and customers. I was also much smaller. This was 20 some years ago. But it's not. It's not a great position when you're, especially if your boss or your coworkers are hitting on you or commenting on things that um, that you don't want to lose your job. You don't want to make waves. You don't want to lose your job, but you don't really want to be working with these people that are ogling you, right? Now, if I was, completely self-confident with myself and my body and all that stuff, and hey, this is a job and that's the outfit that you're supposed to wear, you know what you're getting into when you apply to work at these places, right? So it's not like a surprise, you know. But just because you're wearing the outfit doesn't mean you're inviting people to like grab you or anything like that, because that's not, that part is not okay. It's kind of like, um, the shows in Vegas and stuff like that. They're not wearing a lot of clothes, but they're there for entertainment, for to be watched. They're not there to be like groped and stuff like that. News, but not listed here. Lubbock location coming soon. Dang it. Yeah, it sounds like, so it does sound like Hooters, but I think, actually, I think the little outfit, like the little shirt, the plaid shirt, outfit looks cuter than just Hooters. Like it looked, but and also today, what did I do today? Today I paid for Rowan's grad picture sitting fee. So the sitting fee itself was $30. That's just to sit. We also paid for her grad fees, which pays for the rental of her gown. Well, I don't know if it's a rental or it said gown cap includes a photo of her getting her diploma. I mean, it's October. We haven't even got the first report cards from first term. Okay, like the first midterm report cards. But we had to pay, and it covers the grad. Actually, it covers the grad retreat, which is like a weekend thing, as well as some sort of grad. Oh, it covers the prom, I think, but not professional photos, which this thing is. I think to go. Yes. Well, Steve. Well, there is nothing wrong with looking at women want to um who want to be looked at, right? So if they're in a job that they're supposed to be looked at and they know that they're getting into, it's more of like what they, you know what you're getting into, but you're not also, but looking is not the same as touching, right? Yeah, I went to that link and thought, just like Hooters, Texas New England, Laura Palmer murdered in the first place. Um, see the Michael has pretty. Um, when you're working, when when you work in a field or a job that has an outfit like that, you know what you're getting into, right? Also, same with women who are working like Las Vegas, like the Can girls or the show girls, whatever, or in other jobs where the outfit is barely, it's sex sells. It is. I mean, look at the car shows. If you go to any car show or gun show spots, I don't know what it is. Why are there pretty women and hardly in little like halter tops and short shorts holding big guns? At these gun shows, we don't really have those here, but I see videos of people going to these gun shows in the states and the car shows and stuff like that. And I'm like, what? Why are there pretty women holding these guns? Because sex sells. And they're using whatever they can to sell. Now, these people, just because they're dressed like that, does not give you the right as a person to touch them. You could compliment them in a polite manner and saying, "Oh, you look pretty," but being demeaning and gross, that's a whole other level. But poor things, sometimes they have to. Well, true. Because to endure is supposed to be illegal. Well, true. So this is what I'm saying. So wearing the clothes for the job means people will look at you. You know what you're getting into. Whether you choose to do this to support your kids or whatever, you're making that choice. That's the thing. You're making this choice. It's not, nobody's forcing you. Like nobody's drugging you to go work at these places. Okay. Now, if it was something else, like in prostitution, there's a lot of people that are being drugged up by their pimps or whatever to be doing prostitution because they have to, that's the only thing they can do at this time to support their family and stuff like that. But that's a whole um, other level. Now, what they do, and the girls are paying $100 an hour. If I was making $100 an hour for some guy to look at me while I'm serving them food, as long as they don't touch me or be really gross, because they don't have, because you still have to respect the person. You can't just be hey 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 like and saying gross stuff to them. That's a whole other section. But looking is not, because you know what that they're going to do with that outfit. As I say to my girls, they can wear whatever they want, but what you wear, people there are people that will look at you differently. People will see that whatever you're wearing as an invitation for touching, for complimenting, for being gross or whatever. So, and also in different things like going to school, going to a job, there are certain dress codes that you can't wear certain outfits at those places. Of something that you'd be using at a club downtown is not appropriate to be business and working with a CEO of a company. It's just not. Now you can still look sexy and beautiful and have things curvy and stuff like that, but still be business. But I tell my girls that I'm fine with, whatever they want to wear. In the house, they can wear whatever they want. Going outside the house, depending on where we're going and stuff like that, um, the outfit has to be acceptable. Like, I mean, they can wear dresses with skate straps around the house outside, but at school they're not allowed to because that's the school dress code. Okay, if they're going to go to a job, they're not going to wear the sundress either. A, it's impractical, and B, it's just not appropriate, right? They have to wear something that's appropriate. And trying to teach my girls how to make those decisions themselves. If they decide to be a Twin Peaks girl or a Hooters girl to work as a restaurant, if they're going to get paid $100 an hour, kind of in tips and stuff, working at this place to help pay for school versus working at like a diner or whatever, well, they have to make that decision for themselves. Will I still love them? Will I still respect them as my daughters? Of course I will. I am not going to put them down for whatever decisions they make. I'm not necessarily going to be completely happy about certain things, but that's not an issue. If they can figure out how to do it themselves, that is perfectly fine. It's drinking a lot of water. Clothes will start. Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to do is trying to increase. Speaking of which, switch to the next topic. Um, Being more active on a regular basis and drinking more water. Bending over stretches would be great to make them. I know. Today. What? See, that's why I don't answer the phone, and usually I don't answer the door. But I knew I was expecting a pharmacy thing. Now, if anybody rings the doorbell, I'm not going to answer it, because I'm just not. Because I'm not expecting anything. Unless somebody tells me I'm expecting something, I'm not necessarily going to answer it all, or I'll be skeptical. Oh, by the way, this weekend, on Saturday, before I was going out, the mayor, so we're going to have a municipal election. So for our mayor and our municipalities, as well as the school board trustees and stuff, um, is on this election. So the mayor actually came to my door and rang my doorbell. And actually, I like our mayor, our current mayor. So I'm going to vote for him. I don't know what hubby's going to vote for. But I said, yes, I'm actually going to vote for you. Because I think he's doing a pretty darn good job with all the stuff that he's been doing. So, but I didn't have my phone. I was going to take a selfie because Jeff goes, "Why did you take a selfie?" I'm like, "My phone was upstairs charging, and I was down here, and I answered the door." I'm like, "Well, you could answer the door." He goes, "Yeah, he was in his house coat. He was not going to go to the door." My daughter and what she wore growing up. She dresses modestly now, but knows. Well, exactly. So this is the thing. My girls dress modestly. 99% of the time, they don't like revealing their body shape and stuff like that. Now, there's dresses that they wear that are much more curvier than, or not tight, but they fit them well. That I'm like, damn. I'm like, okay, you're not my little girls anymore, you know. But they're classic, like they're classy. You're not like skanky mini skirts and my daughter, like my oldest has some short jean shorts, but they cover her whole butt. And they don't, like, when you bend over, they don't show nothing. And that's like, as I said, no, they're short, but they're folded, like they're rolled or whatever. They're not like things hanging out or anything like that. And that's all. I just started driving for Uber this weekend. Like $22. That's nice. The day before was 18. Exactly. So this is the thing. Like, you could choose to do different things. Now, um, those waitresses are making that decision for themselves. And nobody's really forcing them. Like, nobody's drugging them up to do the job. They're making that decision. Now, if they decide to do it because this is the fastest way that they can make a certain amount of money so that they can, provide for their families or to pay off student loans. Because, I mean, I hear your student loans are even worse than our student loans here in Canada. Like, hundreds and thousands of dollars for, like, a business of arts degree, bachelor of arts or whatever. Like, nothing. Like, yeah, we have student loans of that amount, but you get like a doctor or a lawyer degree with that. Imagine what they. Well, exactly, and there's girls that are like just they're probably still as beautiful without having to show as much skin. If I had a rock and body and no morals, I'd choose 100. Well, that's what I was kind of saying, Amanda. Like when I was younger, if if I had more self confidence in myself, I would have worked at a restaurant that had better tipping customers than working at a diner. A diner, no offense, but diners, the waitresses get tipped squat. Even as a hostess and a part-time waitress and stuff like that, if I was working at a place like Moxie's or Milestones and stuff, those waitresses get tipped well. And they're still their outfits have to be kind of sexy, but not like Twin Peaks kind of sexy. First Twin Peaks TV show was back in 1991. That's I said late 80s, 90s. Tried to revive it again back into this, but I think it got canceled. Yeah, I remember watching it a bit when I was a kid. I can't remember what it was. It was some sort of mystery show or murder. I can't remember because we didn't really have a lot of. So 1990, 91, we didn't have really lots of cable back then. That was when I was in grade 10, 11. I don't remember a lot of cable and me being allowed to watch stuff. I don't know. Woohoo, Amanda, 0% student loans. It took me, so my student loans was not much, all things considered. I think it was 26,000, but it took me 13 years to pay off the minimum that, like, they told me to pay the minimum each month. It took me 13 years to pay it off. And I I have no idea how much I actually, like, so at the end, I think it worked out to being double what I actually got the loan for. So it was like 26,000, 13 years, and I was paying 300, I think $310 a month, which I don't really know to do the last, about 300 a month for 13 years. And that was at a fairly low percentage rate at the time. Thing me either. How long have you been married? Um, Jeff and I have been together 23 years. Have to think. So yeah, cause so he knew my mom. Uh, I was in one program before, so we've been together. So we were friends for a couple of years before that, cause I was engaged to somebody else. But we were friends, and he knew my mom about a year and a half before my mom died. So I was just finished. I did a year and a half of um, engineering mechanics program, and then I transferred to developmental service restaurant, developmental service worker, and in that time I was off school for 8 months. So then I worked full time as a hostess slash waitress at Rock and Johnny's Diner, and so that was it. Should be abolished and employees should get a regular wage. Hi, Finkel missed comics production. I agree. If you go to Europe and stuff like that, all the waiters and waitresses get paid a certain fee, and tipping um, is not recommended. There's a whole thing on tipping of how it became to be. It was actually um, people coming from Europe here, and with slaves and stuff like that. When um, especially with black people, were able to work jobs like in the hotels and stuff, like porter boys and stuff like that. The white people would tip them for good service. So it was a way of like you know a way of tipping the slaves that were there that were slaves. And it's just grown from there. That is now taken to any service industry job that it's basically demeaning them to being as low as that. And um, I think tipping should be abolished. I don't think, I think people should get paid a decent wage. I think everybody should be getting paid a decent wage. And if you're working in a company at a certain amount of hours, you should be getting um, insurance, or should be able to buy in, even if you're not working for 40 hours a week. Having that option of buying into the insurance should be there, you know. Add a tip. Well, yeah, I hate when they automatically add a tip. And if you're in a big group, they add like 18%. And I'm like, okay, sometimes when you're in a big group, the the service is slow, and they usually mess up your order. It's not usually the waitress's fault. It's sometimes the kitchen's fault. Guilt and pleasure do you want with your meal? Exactly. I got 3 ingredients, but they don't help me job hunting. Yeah. Well, and if especially if you have any student loans for these degrees, I have one. Well, I have one diploma from college for developmental service worker, and I have a certificate from a personal support worker that I got while I was working. My work paid for me to take off 3 months off work and do the course full time. Right now, rain. It was raining earlier when I started serving. 213 an hour. Wow. So when I was working in the restaurant, I was making. This was 20 years ago. 23 years ago. 22, 23 years ago. Actually, a little bit less than that. 24 years ago, because I was like 19, 18, 19. I started a bit. I was making $8, 7.80. That was minimum wage then. So 7.80, and no, 7.80 was regular minimum wage. Hostess server minimum wage was $7 or 6.85 or 6.90. So I was making that an hour. And then when I was working full time before I had Abby, I was working full time overnights, and I was making 13.61. And the minimum wage at that time was $9, $10 an hour. Now minimum wage is $14 an hour, and um, the server minimum wage I think is 11 or 12, but it just did a big huge jump, like almost $2 in January, because we haven't had our thing go with inflation very well. When pay the waiters, so they told them to take the money from the high rolling customers. Well, exactly. Uber is definitely a better way to make money, because then you can make your own hours. You can fit in when you're time. Like we take Uber a lot, and a lot of times our drivers are like students or people who have other jobs and they're at home watching TV. They'll say they're available, and somebody calls them. They can make 20 bucks while they pause their TV show, and they can make $100 in an hour pretty easily. Well, that's an interesting point, Donna, about tips being an incentive to do better service. If you look at anywhere else besides North America, honestly, everywhere else in Europe and that, tipping is not common. You are hired by a restaurant to do your job, and if you don't do your job, if you don't do well good enough job, you will get fired. But you're getting paid enough to live off of. Just service and friendliness. Yeah. Well, when I tip, I tip on the order being correct. Service. I don't want a waitress to always like be right there. I want her to notice that my plate is empty to come take it away eventually. Like I don't mind if she's busy. I can see. I completely respect when she's really full. But to come by every once in a while to offer like refills of pop or water, whatever we're drinking and stuff. Rowan is my daughter, my oldest. You've seen her a couple times. If you look back at other videos, she's the one that did my hair color this summer, spring. So she is in grade 12. 3.7 still can't get interviews. Yeah, I had a 3.85 GPA when I was in college. But that was many moons ago. I got the honor roll because here honor roll is over 3.8. We were eating out last night, and this young man was on his second day of work, and he dropped all the food. Yes, well, see, that was my biggest thing. Like now, as I'm older, when I was younger, I had more balance. I think with a tray. Now my wrists are sore, so and my biggest thing was carrying drinks, like and different sizes of drinks. So the food I can carry no problem. Like I can still carry like usually 2 or 3 plates. So if I'm bringing food to the table, I can usually carry like 3 or 4 plates. But it was the tall. It was when things were uneven heights that I had problems with. Not, I never dropped a tray of stuff. I did spill stuff behind the bar, but never in front of people. So yeah, my girls. So my oldest will be graduating this year. I can't believe it. I so remember when she was born. And my youngest is in grade 11, but she's going to be doing an extra year just of because she's a December baby, right? So she's going to do an extra year just to get some more courses because she's taking a little bit lighter load because she's taking academic courses to go to university. While Rowan, she wants to go to college, so she's taking the applied courses, like the college courses. And she's taking a full course load. Like right now, she has a spare this term just because the courses in the last period she didn't want to take any of them. So next term she has a full course load. So, but this allows her to have that time to do homework and stuff like that. And same with Abby. So Abby's taking one spare to do her academic biology, um, because it's um, a lot of labs, lots of work. So I'll have one graduating this year, coming up, like well, I guess next year in June, and then I'll have a year off, and then I'll have one graduating the following year. Normally they would have been back to back. I mean, she could, if Abby chooses, she could take. Um, I think she'd only need 1 or 2 more courses, like to take during the summertime, or as an e-course or online course, that she could graduate the following year if she wanted to. But right now, she wants to take the extra time so that she could do well and give her a little bit more um, maturity too and independence and stuff, and learn a lot more things that she could do for herself. Um, where I live in Kanata, which is the west end suburb of Ottawa, Ontario, we have 2 huge major universities in Canada. We have Ottawa University and Carleton University. Carleton University is known for um, their engineering, like a whole like people around the country come to Carleton and Ottawa for specific programs. So they're very good universities. We also have a major college here, Algonquin College, which is known for um, a very good program. Like both my husband and I went to Algonquin, and got our diplomas from there, and they're very well renowned and much cheaper than university. But so both we've encouraged my kids to um, hopefully go to school here. Then they can stay at home rent free while they're in school. So it'll be cheaper. If they want to go to, if they find that they want to take a specific program somewhere else, that's perfectly fine too. We will help them figure that out. Like we have some money that we put aside for schooling, but the way that we're figuring out for school is that their first year, um, we want them to save enough money for first year's tuition. So first term's tuition at least. We will have the money to help cover the rest, but we want them to put that little bit of effort to saving money. And then also they will apply for OSAP, which is Ontario Student Application Program, where there'll be grants, which they'll get money that they don't have to pay back, and then there's loans of money that they do have to pay back when they're done their schooling. But in the meantime, also have them apply for certain scholarships. So um, there are many scholarships available for whatever program you want to go to. Also, with like since my husband works in the federal government, there is a federal government scholarship that um, you can apply for. If you have a disability, there's some scholarships that are available with disabilities. There's scholarships pertaining to your program of study. So if you're going to go in the healthcare field or whatever, you can apply for those scholarships. Okay, well, have a great day, Donna, and don't forget to give a thumbs up. So we're going to be that's that's my job right now, from now till Christmas, is to kind of research all the different scholarships that are available for Canadian students applying for in Canada. Because the more money that they can get for free to go towards schooling, the less we have to put towards it. And the money that we've saved up for their schooling, they could use for their schooling, for their books, for their other expenses, and they wouldn't have to be um, working a part-time job or a full-time job as well as studying to pay bills. You know, yeah. Still talking about college. I was well, not my college. I'm talking about my kids' college. So we're just saying that for my kids, I'm going to be looking at what's available for scholarships so they can apply for them, because the more free money they can get, the better. um, Also, that if they stayed at home and went to school, because we have two universities and one major college and two smaller colleges. One's a health science college and one's a business college. So depending on what they specifically want to take, both all of them are accredited. All of them are that their diplomas are good anywhere in Canada. They would be able to live at home rent free and just have to pay for school. And for us, we want them to um, save up enough money for at least first term's tuition, if not the first year's tuition. And then we would pay for books because we want them to have that sense, that responsibility of saving money, for it's not just us paying. Because I have friends who they paid for their kids first year, like their first year, and they buggered off the first year and partied. And they failed courses and stuff like that. It's like, so you're like literally wasting money. If they put the effort in to save up the money themselves, they're more likely not to bugger off. I'm not going to say they're not going to party or anything like that, but they'll be responsible in the partying and still show up to test day and exams, like unlike some of my friends' kids. Um, so far, my oldest wants to be an EA in the school. So to be an EA, she's going to probably apply for developmental service worker. So that's what I had. So working with kids and adults with physical and developmental disabilities will allow her to get into the school board to be an EA to work with kids with different disabilities. She'll either apply for that or she'll There's like three or four, like youth child worker and ECE, like early childhood education. But the ECE is more for smaller kids, so she'd be an EA in like kindergarten. Um, First, educational assistant, or teacher's assistant. So not a teacher, but the one below it. Because to be a teacher, you have to have a university degree, and then you have to have teacher's college, and then you have to be hired by the teacher. She wants to be an EA working with kids with learning disabilities or with physical disabilities or whatever. So that's what she'd like to do. My my youngest, well, my youngest wants to be a writer, and or work in the sciences. Well, she loves biology. She loves neuroscience. She wants to figure out how the brain works. So I keep on saying she should be a lawyer because she's really good at arguing, and getting her points across. But um, does it pay much? Um, in the school board, hi Jolan, it pays better in the school board than working. Like I have the same thing. So if I was working in the field here, I could be making $20 to $30 an hour, so a little bit less sometimes depending on like 15 or $18 an hour. Minimum wage again is now 14. So I'm unsure about the amounts before. Like when I was working full time, I was making about $4 above minimum wage, which isn't wasn't bad. But see, it was working with United Way based agencies, so we're working with charities, right? So um, when you're working with the school board, your starting wage, even as an EA, is I think $18 to $20. Even if you're going to be like a supply, you still have benefits. You still have um, you could pay into a nice pension. Like the school boards have a nice pension, as well as good benefits that you could pay into, even if you are part time. Yes, I was gonna say being a, but I was saying she has the brain. My youngest has the brain and the skill to kind of argue her way, and but she doesn't want to do that. So she would love to be a writer. Like she already has about five stories that she's already started that have like chapters. Like there's like 4 or 5 chapters of 5 different storylines that she has already started writing. Um, but I keep on telling her she needs to still go to school to get skills that are employable so that she can get employed and have a job to pay the bills while she has the time to do the writing, because nobody is going to sell their first book the first time it's done getting published and be able to live on the income of a writer. Because a writer is kind of like an artist. You need to have some skills. Well, yes, this is the thing. So she doesn't want to do that. We mentioned it a few times. She doesn't want to, so we're not going to push her that way. If she wants to go into the sciences and stuff, having a degree in the sciences would be helpful. Even if it's not, if she doesn't, she can go into the research part of it. Like that's the part that she's interested in. Hi, okay, bye, Robin. Have a great day. And bye, Donna. Have a great day. See you later. Don't forget to give a thumbs up on the way out, because there's like 8 people in here, but there's only six thumbs up. Somebody's missing. But even if she gets a degree, whatever she gets a degree in is also a way into also the federal government. So if she gets into the sciences and gets a degree in the sciences, she could work for the federal government in the sciences department of doing the research and stuff, like, on climate change, on biology, on whatever. But even having a degree, because the federal government is the largest employer of persons with disabilities. So there's that. She also excellent. Well, she does have excellent English skills. Spelling is a little bit off, but other than that, we're talking about Abby. What you call it? Is it raining still?
Not as bad. It's like rain.
Okay. So, can you come over here for a second? Donna has never seen you.
Yeah, I would like to keep it that way.
So this is Rowan. Because she goes, because I said your name, Rowan. She's like, who's here? I'm like, she. Oh, that's your mark. Just come and say.
That's my project.
That's your project?
That's due next week sometime.
Okay.
I'm doing it on stress on the teenage.
Oh, you might learn some stuff on how to de-stress.
Trust me. It's not. I'm not. It's anxiety mixed that turns into stress.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my project.
Come over here for what? Just say. Okay, put a hand on the wave then.
Okay.
Aw. Sorry, I forgot to do work on the computer. So that's Rowan's sweater. She's being shy.
No, I just don't like being on social media like that.
So, sorry, what to do? Oh, is that? That's broken. You are going to have to stop being so shy if you want to work in the school. Yes. Because I said you wanted to be an EA.
I just don't like being on.
Yes. She doesn't like being on social media, she says. Or
That stays on there forever.
you're breaking?
Rowan didn't know that.
It's a hamper.
Rowan didn't know that.
You don't sit on it. It's not a chair. You want to sit? There's a chair here.
I'm going downstairs.
Okay.
I'm relaxing before I
If you hear the phone that says Holy Trinity, get it for me.
that might not know.
You're home. Okay.
I get
Normal time. Okay.
12:55.
Okay.
It's a dog, so
Because well, Abby might be dropping off her bag before she goes. I don't know. Uh, yeah, she doesn't like being center of attention or anything. Hey Joey, how's it going? Have you put new stuff out on your other channel, your music channel? Yeah, Amanda, it's AN instead of EN, just to let you know. ROWAN. It's like the tree. There's a rowan tree. So, but I have been on here for an hour and a half. I should probably start making the fresh pasta. Well, yeah, because somebody had put an. Well, it depends. So the spelling is correct on either way. So depending on which country you are choosing the name from, I'm hopefully going to try and record it. I'm going to do my box opening. So I got this pasta maker for my KitchenAid for my birthday, which I haven't used yet. My birthday, you know when my birthday was. It's been sitting there and going, oh, I need to make it. So I want to make pasta because I'm hopefully going to be recording a unboxing of it and then be using it and making. I'm gonna make pepperoni pasta. Um, on the box last week, there was fresh pasta in there that my family loved. That I'm going to make the same thing, but without lobster. I'm going to be using turkey, and I'm going to kind of basically do the same thing. with maybe a few different things. But yeah, I'm hoping to record that. But which will not be a low carb. I'm not doing a low carb supper today. I'll do a low carb, I think tomorrow and the next day. I need comfort food for supper tonight and dessert. So, but I should get going. Going to be back soon. Well, I have to get going. So, because time is just not standing still for me. Well, hopefully I'll have a video up of it. I'll let you know tomorrow. I'll be on here tomorrow lunchtime. No, maybe one-ish, maybe. Um, hopefully, and I'll let you know if I've made a video of it. Well, exactly. So that's one thing. Today, so today is the anniversary of my mom's death and my dad's birthday, and my mom's birthday was 2 days ago. So I need a day of just comfort food, honestly. So it will not be a low carb meal. So I'm like, okay, I'll make pasta. I love pasta, but I can get rid of pasta. Oh, excuse me. On other days, so I'm trying to incorporate some low carb meals throughout my week, so that there'd be more low carb meals versus not, and just getting back into things slowly, and that's my goal. So I'm gonna get going. I need to make more coffee because I'm all done. And I will see you next time. I will also be uploading my video, my menu plan, and my walking one today, tomorrow. So have a great day. Thanks very much for popping by, and talk to you later. Bye. Mwah.